Hey there, it's Mindy. I'm sure you've likely seen the faux ceramic painted vase tutorial floating around on social media. In this video, I'm testing out the ceramic paint and one other DIY paint technique to upcycle some thrift store vases. Let's get started. For this faux ceramic paint technique, I used a white pitcher that I've had on hand and a couple of glass vases that I recently found at the thrift store. I'll just show you one for now. Now, before I started painting the larger containers, I did first do a test on a bud vase and an old candle jar. It's hard to capture on camera, but this does add a texture that feels like a clay pot, so I was happy with that test. So the paint color I used on this pitcher and vase is a terracotta color called Cavern Clay, and I have a bunch of this left over from an accent wall I painted in the living room. So the instructions I came across for this faux ceramic paint mixture said to mix 1 cup of paint with 1 teaspoon of baking powder, but I found that using that ratio with less paint didn't thicken up the paint as much. So I started with a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder to a 1/4 cup of paint and added more of the powder until I got to this consistency that you see here. I would say it's probably comparable to a smooth peanut butter. So you'll want to mix your paint until you get the consistency you like, and then clean off your vase or container, jar, whatever you're using, with some alcohol so that it's nice and clean. I used a foam brush for both of these containers, but I would suggest using a smooth bristle brush for anything with grooves. I did find that with the textured vase, I had some pooling in some places and I didn't catch it until afterwards. So I also found that painting side to side rather than vertically made for a more consistent finish with this paint technique. I am very happy with how this ceramic pitcher turned out. I realized that it's already ceramic and I wasn't really sure if it would work on this surface, but it worked perfectly and I'm very happy with the finish. So while I was trying out new ways to upcycle glass jars and vases, I thought I'd try out the DIY amber glass technique as well. I recently saw Jacqueline from the channel Jacqueline Lopez Lifestyle do this with some Dollar Tree jars, and they turned out beautifully. So I'll link her channel in the description so you can check it out. For this technique, it's pretty simple as well. I found a recipe on Pinterest for the yellow tint that I'm going to use, which is 2 tablespoons of Mod Podge. I use the gloss finish, 4 drops of yellow food coloring, and 1 drop of red food coloring, as well as 1 teaspoon of water. So you'll see this mixture looks sort of orange when you mix it, but it definitely dries yellow. And I did go ahead and try a couple of other mixtures. This one here turns out to be sort of a sepia tone, sort of an orangey brown, and this dark one is more of a brown amber, which is what you'll typically see. And these are perfect for to add to your fall decor, especially right now. So I went right in for my yellow with my yellow amber mixture and painted it on this glass bowl that I also found at the thrift store. And the only tips I have for this paint technique are to use even brush strokes and do not overbrush. So I used a foam brush for this. Thinking back on it now, I probably could have used a wider brush so I would get less streakiness, but in the end it turned out okay. I was able to apply a second coat of the mixture after about an hour just to darken it a little bit. I did also go ahead and do this on a glass bottle that I had on hand, which you'll see at the end of the video. And I did go ahead and do a quick search to see if there was an easier way to get this amber glass look, and I did find there is a spray paint that is by Krylon, but it is pretty expensive. I think I saw on Amazon ranging from $8 to around $18, so I'd say it's worth trying this with the Mod Podge. So here are all my completed faux ceramic and amber vases and containers, and I am very happy with how they turned out. Let me know in the comments if you would try one of these techniques to update vases, or if there are other techniques you'd like me to try out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, if you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and click the subscribe button now, and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.